Hey guys, Benny Baker here with a word of encouragement for your day. Back when I was in high school, believe it or not, I was not one of the cool kids. Okay, so maybe things haven't changed all that much since then. But one of the things the cool kids wore back then were white jean shorts. Yeah, I know, they're hideous. But wanting to be like one of the cool kids, I bought a pair of those shorts. Now, something else you need to know about me back then, I was not the neatest person. Okay, that hasn't changed that much either. But I never once made it out of the house in those shorts without getting them dirty before I made it to town. Sometimes I wouldn't even make it out of my room and I'd rub up against something and put a mark on them, or sometimes I'd get all the way out to my Jeep and brush up against the paint that I hadn't washed and get them dirty. And the point is, I never once made it in those jeans to town. And it was a source of great frustration to me. Matter of fact, we wore those jean shorts out in the washing machine, washing them, just trying over and over again to wear them to town. Looking back on that, there's several things about that story that makes me laugh. One of the things is the fashion sense we had back in the late 80s and early 90s. Another was how hard I was trying to be like the cool kids. I think a lot of us have some of those same problems nowadays. We do. Don't know why I said yes. No, no, don't stop.
You've got this. Something dry.
Yeah, I gotta get me a better pair of glasses to do that stuff. All right, take two. Hey guys, Benny Baker here with an encouraging word for your day. Many years ago, back when I was in high school, believe it or not, I was not one of the cool kids. All right, so maybe not all that much has changed since then. But I remember that the cool kids back then had take three. Hey guys, Benny Baker here with a word of encouragement for your day. I remember many years ago, back when I was in high school, I wasn't necessarily one of the cool kids. Yeah, I know, not much has changed since then. But I did want to be like the cool kids. And so, in order to try to be like the cool kids, I tried to dress like them, act like them, tried to be a cool kid. And so, one of the things that was popular back then were jean shorts. And not just any jean shorts, but white jean shorts. Yeah, I know. Sounds hideous, right? So I bought a pair of these shorts so I could look like everybody else. There's only one problem. Back in those day and times, I wasn't necessarily the neatest person in the world. Okay, that might not has changed much either since then. But the funny thing is I tried numerous times to wear those shorts out to town. And I never once made it to town in those shorts. You see, since they were white, everything showed up on them. Any little spot of dirt, any bit of oil grease, it doesn't matter. Everything showed up, plain as day on them. And so I never once made it to town without getting them dirty. Sometimes I wouldn't make it out of my room without brushing up against something that had dirt on it, or if I made it out to my Jeep, I did not necessarily keep it the cleanest. And so oftentimes I'd brush up against the paint or something and get dirt on it before I could get to town. And so every time I tried to wear them, I ended up going back in the house, changing into my jeans, and re-washing those shorts. Matter of fact, I washed those shorts so many times that I wore them out without ever making it out of the house in them. Now, there's several things about that story that kind of makes me chuckle. One is the fashion sense we had in the late 80s and early 90s. Makes you wonder what in the world we were thinking. The other thing, though, that makes me kind of giggle is how hard I tried to be cool. See, I had a mental picture of what I needed to look like and be like in order to be good enough. And I think a lot of us still do. A lot of us spend our days and our times trying to measure up with some perfect ideal in our mind. We try to be handsome or pretty enough. We try to be successful enough. Try to be cool enough, have the right things, all so that we can be worthy. The Apostle Paul in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 9 and 10 wrote, "But he said to me, My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly of my weakness, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me. For the sake of Christ, then, I am content with weakness, insults, hardships, persecutions, and calamities. For when I am weak, then am I strong." For today's encouragement, I'd just like to simply remind you of this. You don't have to be perfect. The fact of the matter is we can't anyway, so why try? You are worthy today. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of love from the Father, and you're worthy of love from other people. You're worthy today of happiness. Our happiness shouldn't be dependent upon what anyone else thinks of us, but more importantly, it shouldn't be dependent upon whether or not we measure up with some imaginary ideal in our mind. God doesn't want us to have to get to a certain point before He deems us worthy of happiness. He deems you worthy right now. And you are also worthy of rest. You know, it's absolutely exhausting trying to measure up. It takes a lot of effort and energy. The good news is you're worthy as you are. So you don't have to strive and you don't have to struggle. You know what? Today's encouragement is you're not perfect. And the good news is you don't have to be. Matter of fact, God says He can use us the most if we're not. So if you're flawed today, if you're watching this looking around at a messy house or messy clothes or a life that's just not that put together, rejoice. Because in your weakness, God's strength can show through. And you're just where God needs you so that He can love you as you are. Guys, y'all have a great week and see you later.
There is a candle in every soul, some brightly burning and some dark and cold. And there is a spirit who brings a fire, ignites a candle and makes his home. Carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the helpless, confused and torn, and hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle and go light your world. Take your candle and go light your world. Frustrated brother, see how he's tried to light his own candle some other way. See now your sister, she's been robbed and lied to, still holds a candle without a flame. So carry your candle and run to the darkness, seek out the lonely, the tired and worn, and hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle and go light your world. Take your candle and go light your world. Hey now, hey now, hey now, whose hearts are blazing. So let's raise our candles and light up the sky, praying to our Father in the name of Jesus. Make us a beacon in darkest times. Carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the hopeless, deceived and poor, and hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle and go light your world. Take your candle and go light your world. Seek out the confusing. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle and go light your world. Take your candle and go light your world. Take your candle and go light your world. Hey now, na, 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 na. Hey now, na, 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 na. Hey now, na, 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 na. Hey now, hey
You answered the call and obeyed God's command. He sent you here, we know you're in His hand. Your message from the Word touches our very soul. We've seen your faithfulness and we want you to know. Pastor, we love you. We appreciate all you do. And God sees the sacrifice you've made for Jesus Christ. You pray for the lost, and God leads them to the cross. And we know one day you'll hear your Father say, "My child, well done. My child, well done." In the still quiet place, on your knees in prayer, God sees your tears, hears the burdens you bear. The Lord's by your side and blesses all that you do. Through the good and bad times, He'll see you through. Pastor, we love you. We appreciate all you do. And God sees the sacrifice you've made for Jesus Christ. You pray for the lost, and God leads them to the cross. And we know one day you'll hear your Father say, "My child, well done. My child, well done." Pastor, we love you. We appreciate all you do. And God sees the sacrifice you've made for Jesus.
Good morning. I'd like to welcome everybody who's joining us for this Easter service at Circleback Baptist Church. And I'm so glad that y'all have chosen to celebrate with us this morning, because He is risen.
He is risen indeed.
And if y'all would like to, well, this seems so much harder when it's filming instead of just. At least then everybody get a good laugh. All right. How many times does it take to do an intro? So that's the kitchen. All right. Is it filming? Oh. Hey guys, Benny Baker here with a word of encouragement for your day. Back when I was in high school,